played the game for the sense of I knew I was playing something like Final Fantasy or Pokemon. I didn't go back into the healing aspects. I didn't go back into limit breaks. You see, that's why I was so unsuccessful at that young age, because you really have to be somebody who knows a good amount of algebra almost to a certain extent, because these different material combinations and different things that you could have incorporated with what you was doing at that time. Like I never, like, you know what I'm saying, I use potions in the middle of a battle, but do you think I ever decided to use potions as I'm in my commute? No. I'm 8 years old. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking Pokemon Center is the only place. I never looked at exploring my menu options and saying, oh, you can heal these while you're still going. But see, and that's the thing. I beat that bitch without doing that. Like the first time. That says something. Right. That's almost like a level 1 run. You know, you only maximizing your XP at save points. So now when I go back and I play these games that came out when we was 9 and 10 years old, it's like I got it all figured out now. Right.
You find the formula.
Like you found the formula is over, and it don't even play it for a sense of nostalgia, man. It's like some stuff is a testament against yourself, because I couldn't be that nigga that was 50 years old and said, "Yeah, man, I played Final Fantasy VII as a kid and never beat it." No. Now I done beat it twice, you know, as an adult. It's on my fucking phone, you know. It's on my phone. Like I'm right in front of Nibelheim right now. I have spent the past 4 days just grinding.
Good.
Like just running around in a circle and waiting for encounters to come up and just continuing to unlock these limit breaks. Like I could easily just go to get Vincent right now. You know, get the code combination and go down there and get Vincent. But I need Aerith to be at level 50 before I do this, because I need all her limit breaks. Even though she's gonna die.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Spoilers. To those of you who ain't know.
Yeah, but I need I need to go back and fight Diamond and Ruby Weapon and know I can beat it, because you get a 20-minute time for Diamond Weapon.
Right, you can have Emerald. I'll take Ruby and do the little, what's the shit what they susceptible to? Was it stop or slow? I think it's stop. I think you can beat Emerald Weapon with Kate Sith, and they limit break where it's like Tifa's with the slot machine, but you have to complete the cat face. Like that's the thing about the Japanese and just game developers. They give you such an easy thing to do to beat them, but they're not gonna tell you. It's like, oh, to fight Genova when you're on the ship, you could. I think you could have just threw soft at it, and it would have died. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. They do that for a lot of bosses in different games. You know, Mexican 10s like that. In the 8, is it 8? Yeah, in 8 there's a boss on a train. I forgot what mission it is. That's a zombie, but you don't realize
the mayor. Mayor. It's the mayor or the governor.
And you could throw a potion X on him and insta kill.
Yeah. 8 in his remake. Well, is remastered.
I'm gonna get it. I like 8.
Look, man. Look. People hate 8 so much. I enjoyed it.
Good story.
I've tried to play 8 with a friend, and it was just like, this story is just not going nowhere. I'm like, how? Because look, man, we just starting this podcast, and we want to try to develop a fan base, and it's fuck them people. I get it, fuck them. Opinion is opinion,
right?
But god damn, this is some territory when you start discussing. I would never slander the original 7, but when you start discussing
which ones are better than the other. For some reason, people hate 8 so much. They hate Squall. They how we can sit back and talk about how Lightning was born. I loved Squall on the sense of that he just didn't care. When he told somebody, why don't you go talk to a wall?
Right.
You know, they would have a more interesting conversation and continue to drink his drink. Like nigga, just go on, just leave me alone. And it was like, oh, he's such an asshole. I'm not invested in him as a character. Like, no, like, I mean,
he's not a stick.
Not a stick. Like, man, he just wasn't for the fuckery. You know,
right?
Like,
give me him over. I was going to say Snow over Lightning any day, bro.
Quistis, you know what I mean?
Even Quistis, the teacher, right? I fucked with her, man.
She pay. That's only like certain female Final Fantasy characters that I literally just like, yeah. Arnea Highwind.
Mm-hmm.
Quistis.
I already know who my next is. You probably, and they from 10.
You finna say Riku?
Nope.
Pain?
Nope.
You know, like
Lulu all day.
Okay.
Lulu all day long.
I don't know. Like I just think Arnea is the GOAT to me in this in not including 7, 8, and 9. Just everything about her was dope. Like even in episode Promptos and her being able to be more of a playable character and her being that dragoon.
I ain't gonna lie. That shit where she was jumping out the sky just randomly to come help. Like,
that was
y'all
dope
niggas need help. Let's do it.
Not like even just using her limit break. Like,
right.
She had hops. Like, bro. Like it was that were different things. And one thing about playing 15 is that I was scared of the party aspect of, are we just gonna stick with these 4?
Right.
Because, you know, originally Core was supposed to be a part of the main cast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Core was the Immortal, was supposed to be part of the main cast. He was supposed to be not necessarily the glue that keep them together, but the Master Splinter to the Ninja Turtles.
That's dope. Hey, Core's that nigga. And let's give a shout out to Core Leon.
But Core, you look what you did to him though.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna give you this key. You go get these blades, and I'm gone. Like you will hear,
that was it.
You will hear like, oh, what's going on with Core? Oh yeah, he's out doing something else. Like out of all the episodes that you could have gave us,
I would have damn sure liked to see. Especially when he was fucking with the king, I would have loved to see him back then. Right.
Another thing too, and I don't even know if this is confirmed or denied or just laughed at, or just like not even wanting to go through being debunked. But they can't take that. That's kind of debunked because of the episode Arden. Prologue, because Gilgamesh was there.
Oh,
Gilgamesh was there with Somnus, burning the people. Because I was about to say, I mean, you know, like if I was a gambling man, I would say Core is Gilgamesh, just like how Shiva was. What's her name? God damn it! And if I wasn't about to say it, I just know the last part of her name is Gentiana.
I know you.
She was Shiva. Gentiana was Shiva, and I was like, oh yeah. So Core might be Gilgamesh because you never seen Core and Gilgamesh in the same, and you just go off of, well, he cut my arm off,
right?
And the Genji blade was originally Core's sword. Like that's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, man, you could have gave us more of Core. You could have let us go on a trek and see, because when you go back and you play this as a complete game, you get all the DLCs, you know exactly where to stop the main game and to jump off into the DLCs and to get a full understanding. You feel that, you know, Core himself deserves more added on to it. Because like, nigga, we saw you at one point, and then we see you sitting down at the dock before I get on this boat, you give me you give me a flask for more potions or something.
Right.
Then, and even this is why I say 15 it has a special place in my heart. They listened while it was still going on. Even though you didn't appreciate the very last part, because the first, when you first get into Insomnia, if you playing the day one edition, and you go through Insomnia, it's like literally a straight shot.
True.
Till you get to the Citadel. I mean, you get a couple, little mini bosses in between, and then you get Cerberus. Okay. They don't change the ending, but the build up for that was something that I'm glad they changed in the Royal Edition. And this is the reason why I say it. It's like you give us a full Insomnia. You give us an Omega weapon. Just if you want to spend 6 hours.
Right, it's there for you. I ain't tackle that.
I did. It was after I fought the Animantors, I felt like I was ready to go. It's 6 hours.
I believe it.
It's 6. I wasn't even maxed out, bro. Like, I hated that they even gave us 120 max. Like, just leave it at 99 and keep it straight.
After
Like I
that Animantors, bro, I was like,
man. See, the thing is with Omega weapon, you really had to wail on that antenna at the top because everything else was impervious. You had to wail on that antenna, and then the shit would. If you got hit, you were confused every time. So
I'd rather play Dark Souls, bro. Straight up, I ain't got that type of patience,
bro. Like nah. Omega weapon was it was a process. Like it really was. But as long as you got enough money and enough supplies, just sit for the ride, man. Like I remember, honestly, I put the game on pause while fighting Omega weapon. Went and got something to eat, reset myself. Like, and just say, you know what? All right, we're gonna come back on some marathoning. Like, I mean, like, just because I couldn't do it in one sitting. I couldn't do it in one sitting. After I realized that I was not even halfway down this nigga health bar, I was like, shit. And Animantors was like, fuck, like that's it. Animantors wasn't hard. It was just long.
Yeah.
Pause. But it was just like, bro, like God. Damn, like it's not really swinging at you.
It ain't.
It's just, are we still here?
Right. Like we at the same mountain, hitting this mountain.
I mean, the bingo after you beat it was worth it because that shit just raised your strength and your HP up to like 999, 9,999.
You gonna make me go and fight that motherfucker.
Like it don't make you invincible, but it raises your. It's like it's the bangle to have. Excuse me. There were things that I know I needed. See, if you, and I'm not going to assume, but if you didn't do the Animantors, did you go to them secret dungeons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Every last one.
Okay.
Every last one, bro.
Oh, that last
one. I was gonna get all my king shit.
Yeah, that last one was a bitch. Cause you couldn't use items.
Nope.
See, and that's where.
And I was Elemancy heavy.
I didn't do Elemancy.
Oh, I was Elemancy heavy. Even though it fucked up my squad.
I didn't do.
I was Elemancy.
I didn't do Elemancy. I didn't even do Royal Arms like that, bro. Let me tell you. The reason why I didn't do Royal Arms like that because I don't want to jeopardize my HP on my own.
Gotcha. I understand that. I respect that.
It's cool to have. Like,
I just felt like a badass.
I mean, the Star of the Rogue is one of my favorite weapons.
Okay.
But I can't. I'm not finna use up half of my MP and HP to make this cool ass move happen. It's like if I want to use that as a finisher, yeah.
Shit look dope as fuck against boss.
And see, and that's the thing. Now. Like, did you get the Royal Pack or the Royal Edition?
Mm-hmm.
Because So that means that you got all royal arms, and you went and got the civil of the king, and you got to use it. Yeah. Like all that stuff is worth it. But the that last one, that last secret dungeon was a bitch, and that's why you had to have like the Great Chamberlain, like Ignis. Was like I had to literally incorporate him as my healer as part. Like I didn't even use him
How else was you using him?
I mean, because I didn't necessarily need him at certain points as a healer. I mean, before I got into the dungeons, like that's when I incorporated the Great Chamberlain and all these other items to use him as a curative, like regroup, and like anytime I got under, like see, that was one of those items. And that's the reason why the name the Great Chamberlain stands out. Anytime you got under half of your HP, he automatically ran over to you and gave you your HP back. Like,
that's dope.
Like, see, I didn't see using regroup. You had to wait till that bar
filled up.
But and so that's the thing. Like, strategically going into this, you know for a fact you get this, you are not able to use items past this point. It's like, okay, fuck. I'm a real nigga though. Like I'm finna get up in here, and I'm finna just bow.
Right.
Like that last one was a bitch. Like I'll do Castle Mark Dungeon again. Like I would. Like I would fight that little Tyrannosaurus Rex thing at the bottom. I'd go through that maze trying to push, and that shit had its own advantages. That shit had its own disadvantages, you know. But yeah, it's like nigga, you I felt the Magitech armor was a waste of adding it, unless you just wanted to breeze through.
Easy mode.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I like good competition. Like I like to know I'm feeling like I'm fighting.
Yeah.
And because a good fight is knowing how to be able to take a punch, and that's just and that's just a proverbial thing in life, you know. And if give me a reason to come back,
right,
to whoop your ass,
right,
you know,
make it personal.
Like when you go do a mission for Cindy, and the Ronin is at the end, is on the other side of that bridge, and then he knocks you the fuck down, and you get all the way down to in the mines, and you get on the last part of the elevator, and it's like the deepest room before you get to the secret dungeon, and the Ronin that nigga literally owned me, bro. Like that nigga owned me. Like the first time that nigga owned me, dog. Like he was like what, level 47 or some shit. He owned the fuck out of me, and I came back like 3 days later, like with a whole strategy. Like I'm coming to fuck you up. Like I know this is a pivotal part of the game I need to play, but like nah, you own me, bro. Like there's only a few times where I had to go sit back and on some Sasuke shit, just contemplate. Like nigga,
to kill him.
Like nah, nigga, nah. You on the other side of this goddamn railroad track with your goddamn Raiden hat on, and then when I got there, sitting there,
that's cool.
Sitting there like that, and then it's like okay, cool. Block. I'm knocking you off. Okay. All right, cool. How I get out of here? Oh, look at some items down there at the bottom. Oh, here he come again. Like this, and then he did you with that one hit kill shit, bro. He hit you.
That move is actually from
Sephiroth 7.
Yeah.
When Sephiroth did it to Cloud.
Right.
Oh, like I get it. You know, it's but as we talk about 15, we go back into 7. Because we look at Versus 13 taking 15, 16 years to actually come into fruition. And then but you gotta think about this. They've been talking about this Final Fantasy VII remake since the PlayStation 3 though.
It's true. It was inklings and shit. I think they just didn't have the
But you had the white engine graphics a long time. And I know you're not incorporating the white engine graphics in this.
Right. I think that was the thing, though.
They wanted to. They wanted to, and I just guess it just wasn't as powerful enough.
Yeah, because this Nibelheim is too dense, bro. Like,
But like the thing, but this is the thing, and this is why we had to go back to ground zeros and we look at the Phantom Pain as, you know, two different things. You give me this content, and it's like this is a glorified demo, because when you sit back and you think about the story as a whole, not even how much you plan, you get 3 parts of this story, 3 or 4. You get the original bomb and run. You get the second bomb and run, where you no, because in the original bomb and run, you come out, you meet Aerith for the first time, and then that's when you surround it. You jump off, you get on a train, and then that's when you go back to Sector 7. You meet Marlene, do all that, blah blah blah. Second mission. The second mission is when you get back on the train, and Jessie, she messed up your ID card, so you got to run off the train. You get off early. You do the second bomb and run, and that's when you meet the president of Shinra for the first time. And when you meet the president of Shinra for the first time, then that's when Cloud let go of the bridge, and that's where he finds himself in the church. All right. Okay, cool. Because if you ain't played it in so long, then you realize it's like, God damn, I'm missing something. Yeah. So you and it's like, I still don't understand how you can take so little of this story and put it on 2 Blu-ray discs, not regular discs. A Blu-ray disc holds so much capacity, and this is what you giving us. Like, nah, fam.
I mean, there's about to be cutscene heavy.
Look, I've heard a compelling argument. It was like, well, we're getting a whole new story split off into 2 games, and you feel a particular way because you know how the whole story is supposed to end. But if we look at it in the standpoint of God of War has been spread out since the PlayStation 2, and you get the story of Kratos and all of that. God, shut the fuck up. Like, I get it. You're doing exactly what we're doing right now. It's trying to make a compelling argument. But all the time that you took to write this down, you don't see how smart you're sounding right now, because you sound like a complete idiot. Because imagine, well, I say this: you shouldn't have gave us a whole game in the first place in '97. You got 3 discs. If you wanted to split it out like that, then you could have split it out like that back in the day. You could have. And would we have been mad? Because, I mean, think about it like this. Chrono series. That was split out. Tales of Symphonia, like all of that shit split out. I mean, hell, even Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, it's 2 sides of the same coin.
True.
And we wasn't mad, but I get it. PlayStation was grandiose. We're gonna give you 3 discs, half the cost of an $80 cartridge. Like, them cartridges was expensive as fuck. Like
65 and up. Girl.
65 and up. Like, I remember Ocarina of Time was like $80. Like, certain things I remember, like going through the old Toys R Us back in the day, you looking at that price tag like, shit.
Even in Walmart, bro. I remember. I fucking remember.
No, man. No, I just hate as a consumer that I'm being spoon fed something. You know what cookies and cream ice cream tastes like with Bluebell, and they give you a half gallon of a whole gallon that you pay for. I'm paying $79.99 for a third of a story that I know.
Fact. Fact.
Why you selling me crack for real cocaine prices?
Fact. And my thing is, like you said, it's all about presentation now. Like, bro, I don't give a damn about cutscenes and sparks and just smoke and particle effects.
You could have made it a whole movie if you just wanted to say we're gonna make Final Fantasy VII into a movie.
Just send it to Pixar; they'll do it for you. I want my gameplay, bro.
I'm sitting back and I'm wondering. I'm having this conversation, as a nostalgia aspect. When you give us, I saw the trailer before I saw the E3 presentation.
Oh shit!
So you can imagine the disappointment. Like you look at this trailer and it's like, oh shit, this is nice, and what about the Temple of the Ancients? Like this. I'm already at Temple of the Ancients. I'm already in the Forgotten Forest. I'm already in these. I'm already in these more pivotal scenes or these more pivotal parts of this story. And then you get to this presentation and it's nice and everybody's excited. And it's like the first part will take place in the story of Midgar that's expanding over 2 Blu-ray discs. Let's rewind this. You say what now?
Right.
And I just feel like I'm being finessed.
Because you are. Because we've been here before.
Yeah, like we been here before, man. It's like
we're about to get got.
But we gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
Because like it's that dumpster fire. It's like you know it's finna come and it's like, all right, cool. Then you get this, then you hear, well, what are the plans for the other parts to come out? We really don't know. This is a quote.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't know. This is a quote, bro. If you go to a good restaurant, the food is good, for a fact. And then the clientele say, so when are your operating hours? Oh, after the day, we don't know. We're just gonna be open and we might let y'all like what?
Which scares me because I'm taking a gamble, man, essentially, because I just feel like, bro, that they're gonna be shortcuts, man. They're gonna be shortcuts, and we're gonna fill them. We're gonna fill them in the gameplay. The gameplay gonna be monotonous, and we're not gonna be able to grind like we would normally do it.
That's another thing. Like I'm the biggest fan of weapon drops. I love them. That's what I live for. That's Type 0. Gilgamesh. Your best weapon comes from Gilgamesh if you so happen to beat him. You get the Genji blade, Genji gloves, whatever it is. Nigga, you don't really get your first weapon, like your first alternate weapon outside of the Buster Sword, until you leave Midgar. So the compatibility to cross over your save file, because let's look at this too. We are on the cusp of a new generation of consoles. So with us being on the cusp of a new generation of consoles, it's like, all right, cool. And I get it. This is the reason why we're talking about Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain as we speak, because what they're about to do at Square Enix is what Konami did with that game, because the shit was available on 4 different consoles. It's available on 4 different consoles. I got a Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes poster on my wall right now that says Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. All right, cool. And did I go back and like sell my 360 versions of Ground Zeroes? Yeah, I did. Did I go buy the Xbox One version of Ground Zeroes? Yeah. Why? Because you want to see the goddamn the difference in graphics.
Right.
You want to get the best of what you pay for. I mean, that's just what we get. But it's like going back to a fine ass girlfriend who gonna cheat on you.
Ooh, good analogy.
It's like, look who I'm standing next to. But you just said she want shit the other day. But it's cool, but she bad though.
Right.
And it's like, I'm going to give Square Enix my money. It's like I'm paying her. I'm getting her nails did. I'm paying her rent, knowing good and goddamn well the intentions. She about to go do something else. It's a good analogy, but it's like it's worse. The literal aspect is worse than dealing with a fine ass girlfriend who ain't shit. Because for one, it's a company that's doing this. We sitting back and we're talking about the plight of this company that's doing this. But for somebody who strongly believes in the scientific method, you have to go buy this goddamn product. Yep. Because you want to form your hypothesis. You want to form your thesis. Mm-hmm. You want to get these questions answered. And then when you come away from it, we're going to have this conversation on, we'll say April 3rd. Give us a month to sit back and process. Because that leads into a lot of stuff. You're going to make Rufus Shinra a lot. You have to make him bigger than what he's supposed to be. Because Rufus Shinra came in at the very ass end of the Midgard chapter. The ass end. Mm-hmm. This Seto Kaiba ass nigga came in at like
White Coat no.
White Coat no. But you know, Rufus Shinra, he dope. You know, the way he did Kadash and having children, a good son would have known. Like, nigga, I've been holding his head in this wheelchair, looking like Professor X this entire time, and look, bitch, I can walk. Like, right. You know, like, but you, big ass demo, bro. Big ass demo. Mm-hmm. Because you have to look at, if Midgard's gonna be that big, I guarantee you, if it's split, like, why would you split it into more than two parts? Because when you get out into the open world, that open world should be just the open world. Like, why would you? Because you shut your eyes, you know how that map looks in your mind. And then what you gonna do? You gonna split this in half? You gonna tell me, oh, you gonna go to Clone, you gonna grind, then you go to Cosmo Canyon, you grind a little bit, then you go to Nibelheim. That's when you get Vincent. They said the most logical thing is to get us to Midgard being the first, the second game ending where Cloud gives Sephiroth the black material, and then it sounds good.
I ain't got no faith, bro. Like we did this song and dance before. We gonna get a game that's gonna be hella linear, and it's gonna be full of cutscenes and quick time actions. It's gonna be a quick time Final Fantasy, bro.
Final Fantasy 15 gave us quick times, but that's where I accumulated most of my gills, so I ain't even mad at that. But I'm gonna tell you, to be honest with you, what started my disdain for this generation's rollout of games, with the exception of Spider-Man. I bought a whole PlayStation for Spider-Man. Just for it. Like,
that's understandable though. That's a blockbuster.
Like, Spider-Man made me come to tears at the end. For reasons like that's like we done already spoiled one death. I'm not gonna spoil another one. Like, for people who actually wanna go play Spider-Man, you do that shit because it's an experience within itself. But what really put a bad taste in my mouth for video games past 2000 and Metal Gear Solid 5 was first. But what really, really put me in a bad mood with shit, it's just like, fuck it, we doing it live, like I said earlier. Arkham Knight.
I had instances where I leave that game, I come back, I leave that game, I come back, I leave that game, I come back. Mysticism wasn't there. After Arkham City, they tried.
Arkham City was a magnum opus. That's one of the better games that I've ever played. Everything about that game had the allure, the soundtrack, the advertisement. You know,
bro,
there are certain things.
The city was the character.
It was a character.
Main character.
That's
what made it good.
There are not that many games out right now that make you feel like you're in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
100%.
This is a time. You know, Final Fantasy VII was a moment. GoldenEye was a moment. Blitz in his own right was a moment. Blitz was a moment.
Especially for sports game in that time.
I mean, but see, sports games, there's only so much you can do.
Right.
But but I mean, but growing up in the era of like 97, 98, 99, 2000, like, there were many moments where you can go back to and say, yeah, that was my shit. NBA Streets Volume 2 was a moment. That's a moment. Like that's a moment in time. Like nigga, you like, it felt different. It felt different. It was an experience. This was not like just something that you just put in the game and just kept on moving. So Spider-Man, like I said, was a moment. That's the only thing I can say as of right now. Like everything else that has came out since 2015, I can't say there's an experience.
Oh, I got you. I got one for you. Well, does it count? I think this was before 15 because it was PlayStation 3. Last of Us. Last of Us got me. Last of Us threw me for a loop.
Odie, tell Cons I'm finna actually give him some props in just a moment. Do you know Cons 8000? He did a lot of the murals downtown. If you're in the art walk and you see, I'm
a fan of his motherfucking work.
Yeah,
man.
he did the Big Boss tattoo for me.
Okay.
And me and him were working on some music one time, and he was like, "Man, you got to play Last of Us." And I was like, "Well, that's at that point in time. I also didn't have a PlayStation either, so I think that's an exclusive, right? Or is this
it was straight on 3. That was it.
Yeah, so
Naughty Dog. Shout out.
I've never even touched a PlayStation 3. I played Guns of the Patriots on my cousin Charles' PlayStation 3 because I just had to play it. You know,
funny because I had the same issue. My roommate had the PlayStation 3, and I bought Guns of the Patriots to play.
Right,
with
right, like real shit. I was the type of nigga who bought my Switches before I bought my Wii, and that was when I bought Twilight Princess before I even got the fucking Wii.
But that's the thing though, with shit like that, man. You know a masterpiece. Because we're a connoisseur game, so you know when a masterpiece is what it is. So it's certain shit that you knew your moments. Like even, but see, and that's and that was a moment. Like, see, Ocarina of Time was a fucking moment. Like that's a moment in time, my nigga. Like, come on, man. Everything about that was like, I remember, because there have been plenty of times I went to your house and we ran it back. And like a movie, we paid attention to so much detail at the time. And just even the little shit of how Ganondorf was trying to appease himself for the king of Hyrule and looking through the window and like, you notice this and niggas.
Right, like look at them niggas and like even the end of Ocarina of Time, it's like, yeah, that's the beginning of Majora's Mask to a certain extent. Because instead of this time saying I'm coming to save Hyrule, I'm coming to tell you I'm leaving. Then, like, it's a moment. Like, see, so many people that caught up on the reason why people like us like what the fuck we do. And I tell people this all the time. No matter who you are, you like a good story. And with you enjoying a good story, you give yourself limitations of how you want to enjoy this story. And that's what puts yourself in a box. Case in point. This nigga different because he like comic books. Or this nigga different because he like anime. Now, I mean, a lot of people, you know, come to bat on the strength of it's the culture for what it is. But you bring it back to square one. Your most gangster individual to ever come across liked Power Rangers. Like, no matter what it is. Like, if you in your early 30s, you know, late 20s, no matter what the fuck no matter who you are right now, I have a pistol on my hip right now. I will shoot a nigga in the face right now. But I'm not gonna tell you I didn't watch Power Rangers because who am I to say that's not my shit? And it's like, okay, you're supposed to put childish things away because you're a grown man. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I can't ride with the love and hip hop train like that.
Oh my god!
You see what I'm saying? But you looking at reality TV for what it is, and it's fictitious, and it's like, okay, you know, it's enjoying sipping the tea. And I've realized a lot too that You can't even hang. I can't even put myself around niggas who enjoy that show.
It's like a mindset.
It's like a mindset, and you know, it's one nigga said this. It's like, what we enjoy talking, and we just been talking about for a whole hour and a half. It's a good story, but at the same time, it's niggas fighting all day. It's we've literally just talked about 3 or 4 different scenarios when niggas want them hands. That's it.
Facts.
That's it. I enjoy a good story about somebody who want them hands. Like, I'm really to come. I'm ready to fight. Lil Shawty love to fight. Beat a bitch up. Yup. You see what I'm saying? It's like, but people limit themselves because they worry about what the next nigga gonna think about, what they gonna like, and they gonna worry about what the next nigga, and they gonna worry about what the next nigga. And it's like, how long ago since you graduated high school? And then on top of that, you shouldn't even gave a fuck in high school.
Right.
But still, it's only when you start making a check for yourself and you realize that it only your opinion matters because ain't nobody else paying your bill. You choose to come out your shell to be whoever you want to be.
I call that the fuck that factor.
Right. And some people don't get that fuck that factor. Some people don't acquire that gene at a certain age or at all.
I can't imagine it. It feels like I'm lying to myself my whole life.
Right. So, you know, it's just one thing about it is, you know, people get so quick to say, okay, man, this nigga like Final Fantasy. This nigga out here playing Devil May Cry. Do you know what I'm enjoying? Some white head, pretty ass nigga blowing a 45 in a demon's head.
Right.
You know, I mean, what? So what? I mean, but the thing is, everybody who will ridicule you is the biggest Game of Thrones fan.
Nick.
And I've never seen the episode of Game of Thrones.
I watched them all.
I get it. No. I don't. See, that's the thing. That's the Star Wars train shit. That's what you're talking.
Right.
It's. I can tell you, I crammed an hour's worth of all 7 seasons in my mind. Like, I got the Cliff Notes of Game of Thrones.
That's all you really need.
And me going through the Cliff Notes was supposed to be my gateway of saying, do I want to watch this whole series from jump? No. Because I felt like I get like your 3 convoluted stories. I felt like I got that with Lord of the Rings.
That's another one.
Now, see, I felt like I got that with Lord of the Rings. My medieval thirst
is quenched.
It stops right here.
Ooh.
You know, it's one of those things that, like, nigga, go back and read The Fellowship of the Ring. Go back and read The Two Towers, even though that's, like, I think my favorite one of the 3.
Low key, no disrespect to the Return of the King, but The Two Towers was lit.
Like, see, that's the thing. Like, man, the whole
that battle on
Helm's
the wall,
Deep.
nigga. Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? But see, and then you got, and then, you know, this season 8 shit, and like I said, I'm paraphrasing a lot. So for anybody who is a Game of Thrones fan, they can be mad at me. But was it the Battle of Winterfell or whatever it was?
Yeah,
like
it was. It's exactly what you finna say.
Compare that to the Battle for Helm's Deep. Like, nigga, one scene of Legolas sliding down the steps on a shield, just wrecking shop.
Letting niggas go with a bow and arrow and cuff.
It's 10 times better than the battle. I mean, I get it. The Night King dies and everything like that. I mean, I get Ariana Stark does her shit. I can't even tell you who she was if y'all put her in a lineup with every other character. But I just had my feel of medieval shit. You know, like I said, once again, just because we like certain shit doesn't mean we like everything. You know, I guarantee you, people on my feed, when they say, oh man, this nigga posting this same shit again, they might think I dress up in cosplay. Never thought about it. Never been to a Comic-Con. I just like a good story. Will I go to Comic-Con one day just to get the experience? Yeah. But it's not something that I wake up and live and breathe, nigga. It's therapeutic. It's just to take time from out your fucking day. Because I feel like this is my better shit to do than to sit back and socialize with people and run out of goddamn social energy 15 minutes into going to a public event. It's like, nigga, I want to go home. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man. So when we come in here and we become passionate about these games that we like and these stories that we don't want altered. Case in point, everybody finna take their ass to go see Lion King. What, next week?
Yeah, I thought it come out. No, it is. It does come out this month.
Yeah, like 16th, something like that.
Yeah, 16th or 26th. I don't remember.
Right,
it sounds like double digit shit.
But people want to go see Lion King. People going to go see Mufasa. Remember who you are. Right. You know, all of that. You know, be prepared. Like, am I going? Probably like week 5.
Yeah, I'm not going opening.
Like, but you know the people that's like, oh, this is my time, 1994, this is my shit. They gonna go. The same excitement that people are happy about the Lion King, the same excitement in the conversation that people are discussing about Black Ariel is no different from us saying we don't want Square Enix to fuck us up. We don't want Square Enix to be getting ready to take our money, put it in their purse, and then go spend it off.
Riding into the sunset.
Riding off into the sunset.